First, Starmer at the White House. Now, Vladimir Zelenskyy at the White House. And it didn't go so well, as you guys know. All over my papers and in the British news, it was things along the lines of Trump and Vance explode at Zelenskyy. I have to admit, JD Vance is a straight talker. He's opinionated. He'll say his opinion, and he does it in a very calm and respectful way. Trump, not so much. But Vladimir Zelenskyy, who was given hundreds of billions as loans, and they said they're grants, he won't pay them back. And then when discussion of a ceasefire is had, which would benefit his people and the Russian people and Europe and America, he didn't seem so interested whatsoever. Which you have to put yourself in the shoes of a newly elected patriotic president whose people are fed up of billions being sent to foreign countries when in the prior administration places like Hawaii, North Carolina, you name it, were barely looked after, some not until the new administration had come in months later. I find it somewhat distasteful from Zelenskyy. I do get the impression that he wants to take out Putin, and that is the only good ending for him. I believe he holds a big grudge. I mean, some will say rightfully so. I think, you know what, if I'm in his shoes, I wouldn't like Vladimir Putin either. But he doesn't want to end to the war via an agreement in my eyes. He wants Europe to give him everything he wants. He wants free money, and he wants to take out Vladimir Putin. This is quite a mad one. I'm personally fed up of all of it. I think everyone is, and everyone has their own opinions. I think that this is all a bit too much at this point, at this stage. I also think that a peace agreement is the only thing that will end the war, personally. So when you are begging for billions and billions and billions and billions and billions, and you're still dissatisfied, and you don't want to say, yes, you know what, a ceasefire would be good, an agreement would be good, peace deal would be good, it is disrespectful. And as leaders of their country, they have every right to say, come on, mate, pack it in, you're in a bad position, you need all the help you can get, and you're throwing it in our face unless we're giving you free money. It's not right. It's not good. I understand that Ukraine is a victim, in a sense, but it's almost like a substance addict. You can't help them unless they want to help themselves. We know here in the UK from the NHS, no matter how much money you throw at it, there's going to be problems. There's always going to be more money needed. When people like Keir Starmer are more interested in the border of Ukraine than they are the UK border, especially the Dover border, it's very telling. It's non-beneficial. It's non-nationalistic. It's non-patriotic. And I think a peace agreement is needed, and it is long needed. But for some reason, people love funding foreign wars, and I really don't understand it. When I was a little lad, it was the Iraq War. Turns out most of it was a bunch of lies. People take everything for verbatim from the media, the mainstream media, which is all paid for and controlled by people with biases and opinions of different sorts. And I don't see any other war any different, to be brutally honest. We never recovered from World War II. The Iraq War was a scam. Billions wasted in the Middle East. Cold War with Russia in the past. I think that a world where even if you disagree with another country's ideology, you at least get along with them, is a good world. That's the best outcome for everyone. America is not the policeman of the world, even though some say they are. We're not the caretaker of the world. We gave away our empire. We don't have responsibility for any of these countries. Obviously, they're allies, adversaries. But this is just beyond a joke at this point. It's beyond wasteful. It's beyond anything. Like, I'm so numb, and forgive my language, I'm beyond caring at this point. I want Ukraine to do well. I want us to do well. I want America to do well. I want Russia to do well. I want all of us to do well. Call me overly optimistic, but this is just out of line. You don't go into someone's house, they cook your meal, you demand 250 more meals from them, and you critique them for saying, look, we've paid for this food, we've cooked your meal, please take your shoes off when you come in too, and you still act like Billy Big Bollocks when you can't even present yourself in a good way. I do understand both sides. I don't really see, it was a massive failure, but I don't see it as a shocking or impulsive thing that happened at the White House. I see it as the new administration fed up, like many other people, and I see it as someone who's never been told no, getting a little bit annoyed. All I see it as, I'm beyond bored and fed up of all of this war agenda, foreign funding agenda. I'm fed up of it. And like I say, usually I've got a bit of energy to me. I am beyond caring.